You are listening to part 3 of 5 of episode 19 of the Psychotherapist Podcast. You already know what it is. These first 4 parts, we get quite a bit into my mental breakdown incident the other day. And that's what it is. I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. So yeah, I had this mini meltdown where I just felt like I felt like a little bitch that was running away. And I had to mentally coach myself to realize that, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I do expect people, at least 1 or 2 people to ask where was I next time I see them. But I'm just going to have to tell them that, I had to rescue Harry Potter from Lord Voldemort, so...
Okay, now you're jumping around a little bit. When you say people are going to ask you what happened, you're talking now about the people... Okay, so it's
and I was expecting after going to the shindig, preparing for the shower, and then having an MRI all at, almost day to day, like...
Yep.
I think a day off would probably be a strategically beneficial whatever move for good a time as any, I guess.
Yeah, got it. So switching the days is unrelated to any avoidance on your part, avoidance of seeing people, being asked questions about what happened to you, the other night, that sort of thing. Right?
I would say it was a grain of sand.
Okay.
As far as as I was driving home and trying to mentally coach myself through, because I'll be honest, Bob, I was not happy with myself.
It's about not going into the party.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I was not pleased with myself. I didn't, I don't know. I just guess I had a sort of mini breakdown. I felt like it was one of those things where I was in those moods where for a few minutes into driving home, usually I always play music or a podcast, but I just had nothing on it, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to take a silent car ride home right now.
Right.
So I try to put on some music, and I just have a randomized playlist, so some happy stuff comes on first. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to do anything for me right now. And then the dark evil stuff comes up, and I'm like, that feels a little more like it. And then one of my favorite metal songs, which I did a cover of, but I didn't send it to you because it's unlistenable, came on, and I started to feel just a little better, a little more level. But leading up to that point, I won't say I had a single tear, but I had both eyes. I just managed to keep it just on the very edge of my eyes. If someone pinches me, something might come out.
Yep, because you were disappointed in yourself.
That more than anything, yes.
Okay.
Because it just felt like a setback, because I am trying to be just a more assertive person, and, until very recently, I should say in recent weeks, up until that point, I was just feeling good about myself and almost feeling like a sense of, I don't want to quite say fearlessness, but yeah, maybe just a healthy, I don't know. I don't know, I just felt more just confident, I guess, as a person, and just felt more like I said with preparing for showers, more just becoming a personality type that can say, someone's got to just pull the trigger on this, let's just make it happen. It doesn't mean I'm the dictator at all. I'm trying to make a team work. It's to me, that's what a real leader should be doing. It's less about saying I'm in charge and here's my plan, and it's okay, what are our thoughts? Are we happy with this? Okay, believe it or not, it's part of why studying medieval ancient combat and biomechanics helps for every little thing, in my opinion, because just setting up the tent, I'm having to tell Harry's no, you gotta hold it down here and then slide, and he's oh, whereas before he was just not holding down the thing and sliding it up, and it wasn't working, and blah 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 blah. So
So basically you had a panic attack.
Yeah, because the social aspect was part of it, but I was there was a lot of catastrophic thought, especially with just having a sip of alcohol and driving home. For whatever
So,
reason, I got just very into my head of just either getting pulled over or getting into a crash. And I'll be honest, even just that, is then just as I was, I think, pulling out, I wasn't 100% sure, but it looked like his truck was just pulling in.
okay. So let's assume that you're going to have several social events throughout the year. It's the nature of the. Okay. And was it in your head from that point on?
Not heavily. I wasn't, I like, to me, it's just if I didn't have the shower and the MRIs and just all this, I mean, maybe part of it is I just need to find a balance of taking my health seriously because I'm just being very honest with you, Bob. Alcohol, as far as how my body reacts, the more I age, the more I dislike the reaction. Let's just say,
Okay. So that's the kind of the underlying issue. First, you got this anxiety, and you go through this fight, flight, freeze, which is included in this paradigm now, sort of response. And then you've also got the alcohol, where you're sort of worried subconsciously that you may not be able to stop drinking, and then you get into this catastrophic thinking loop about, oh God, I'll drink and I won't be able to stop drinking, and then I'm going to be driving and something catastrophic is going to happen. Isn't that it in a nutshell, basically?
I mean, I would say it was even more paranoid than that in the sense that, I mean, I was definitely worried about not wanting to drink because I was very good as far as being offered a little, cup and just having a little and saying, okay, no more because, she was like, please finish this. I don't want to waste it. And I'm like, find someone else because it's just not going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be a little stern in saying no, but part of me was worried about just wanting to drink too much and get into an accident, but I was at such a paranoid state that it was like, I feel like one sip could put me in a compromising state to, just
Okay.
let my attention drift just a little, just enough to even just like a minor accident, just like scratching someone else's car. It's such a whole thing with my family and everything, and it's just, I was weak. I had a moment of weakness.
Well, you had all these old tapes that started playing in your head.
And I also had like PTSD tapes playing in my head of worser years, and I also was operating on a different perspective of what my involvement in the shower was going to be because I thought I was going to have to be doing all this socializing and trying to do that while I'm hungover as shit and
Right.
and didn't sleep at all the night before, and like I don't want to make a bad impression, and I don't even fucking know who's coming, and just ugh.